Welcome to another quick hit review. It is the 11th of June 2019 and we have some pound news out today at 9:30, average earnings. That's the only news that's out that I would pay any attention to. Apart from that, it looks as though it's plain sailing in terms of any main news events today. Half a dozen currency pairs on the radar today, a couple of very nice potential head and shoulders that we've got setting up. Let's start it off with the Aussie dollar CAD. And Aussie dollar CAD, if you remember last week, we were looking at this structure zone just here, where we had these levels of support, support, support. We had this candlestick formations, and I said that I was looking for a potential head and shoulders. Well, we never had the pullback, unfortunately, and now we've just been working our way down to our potential lows just down here. Now, I am expecting price to come lower. I am expecting price to come down to this point. However, we're almost at target, so there's no real room here to get down to this level. So what I am going to be looking for, though, is a little counter trend move here, a little pop. And the reason for that is if we put our structure level right down at the lows here, we have a psychological number 9200. We've got the RSI that's massively oversold at 7. But if we do drop down the time frames, we have a falling channel. It's not pretty, but we have a channel like this. Now, whether or not we can get down to this level before we see a little pop to the upside, I'm not too sure, but we do have the RSI confirmation. On the first test we went oversold with bullish divergence, which is what's required, and if we can get down to this level, I'll be looking for a retest of the start of the pole, which is just here. The way the market's moving though, I think we might see that pop before we actually reach structure, but we'll see. Aussie dollar trend continuation, right? There's a very small amount of pips up for grabs here. Let's have a look at the dailies. Structure level on at our lows, which was down here. You can see we're still within this big wick we've been talking about for weeks now. Structure level on at our highs, and we was looking at this being the turning point where we had this level of resistance. And yesterday we'd put in a very nice lower low, lower close. Now, if you believe we can come all the way down for a retest, then that's what you should be looking for on your lower time frames. If we do drop down to the 240, I'm just going to see if that double top was valid. 1 second. So what we want to do is we want to highlight the wicks of this resistance zone just here. And then we are allowed to drop one time frame lower to the 240. Remember, we've had the lower low, lower close on the daily, and right here you can see that we have double topped. This is a valid double top. It happened within the wicks on the dailies. We did not close above the first test, and we did not close above our highlighted area, which is the wicks. And we did have RSI overbought with divergence. So right now actually we do have an opportunity. We have had a confirmed double top, because right here this is a confirmed break below or violation of the V point. I would now be looking for a 2618 entry. So from the last test to where price is currently trading at, and this is going to work out quite a nice reward to risk, because we have quite a deep retracement here for the 61.8. So this would be our risk plus an ATR, which is 14, so that's going to make 36. So the risk is going to be this much on this trade. Now, in terms of targets though, this is the area that I would be looking. It's going to be a little bit more reward than I was initially thinking, so I'd be looking at conservative targets here. So I'm going to make this green. Where's my dark green gone? Okay, there we go. And if you think price can come lower, I would then be looking for a full extension to play for a retest of the lows minus a few pips. So I'd be looking at around this level. So this is the structure level here for target ones. You can see we've got quite a key level here. I would certainly be taking all my profit, or at least target ones, at this level. And if we do get that retracement, well, we're looking at 44 pips of risk. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought, this trade. 60 pips of reward, and if you are playing for secondary targets, 116. So let's go and look at the Euro Aussie. This was another pair we've been talking about for quite some time, and we got the breakout, or we're getting the breakout. You can see my drawings still on from last time. Let's run through this again. Repetition is key to learning. So structure level on at our latest structure level on at where we think price can come to, and we said that we'd come into this zone, we'd seen a pullback. You can actually have the structure level on the closes of the candles. You can see we held the structure level, and I said look for a retest of the highs and secondary targets up here at this 163,000 level. Well, this is another pair that moved 100 and odd pips. This is 5 now, where I've not been able to get an entry within a week. The reason was because we had this channel and we were looking at this zone right here saying look for a pullback. When the market opened, we actually gapped down to here. I couldn't get involved because the Euros, the fees when the market opened was something like 30 to 40 pips, and since then we've just rocketed. So what I'd now be looking for is this area just here to be violated. Looks like we're doing that right now, and then maybe look for, on the lower time frames, a little double bottom. It doesn't look like we're going to get it, but you might get something like a little trend continuation on the 15. So just here you've actually got a nice little double top just here on the 15. If you can get a pullback before we hit those projected targets, look for an entry reason. Stops need to go here, so unless you get something like a rotation pattern, so a double bottom or a head and shoulders, which is you're going to have tight stops. Apart from that, your stops are going to have to go at the bottom here. Euro yen. Two opportunities on the Euro yen. I think the bullish one is the better one, my personal opinion. So Euro yen, we are down again within the wicks. It is a Euro pair after all, and we are now coming up to this outside return. So we're up in this level. So first of all, we had a move lower, a pullback, a move lower. Now we're trading within this zone. So second chance entry here if you believe we can come for a retest, but just bear in mind we are within the wicks and we may not get that retest. If we drop down to the 240, this is what I've been talking about for the past week or so, this AB equals CD pattern, and we're actually up in that zone now. The problem is that it comes in at nowhere. There is no structure for it looking left. So I would be looking for a confirmed double top where we violate the V point. And the way price is moving, it's not looking like we're going to get that. But if this is a valid double top for you, looking like this, you've actually already had a double top here. You've had no confirmed break below, close below though, which is what's required. And we're back up again at this level, but the RSI did go overbought with divergence. Needless to say, I would need a violation of this level. I pull back for a 26.18 and then I would be playing for fib based targets, that 382. However, if we do drop down the time frames and we look at the 15, we have a breakout pattern. Right here we have a triangle. So we have a swing in the market, we have a directional pole, we have the market adhering to a trend line, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the problem is if we put a structure level on, it has come in at our structure level, so this is one to wait for a confirmed breakout, a pullback, chance to get long. Your targets are going to be that 127. Let's go and take a look at the Euro New Zealand. I've got this is the third pair, the last three pairs to do. Euro New Zealand, I am looking for this to come into the highs and looking for a counter trend move. So this is the highs right here. If we look left, we do have more structure, so we've got a nice area here which comes in at a psychological number 17200. I'm going to be looking for a counter trend move here, probably a head and shoulders. So if we go to the 240, and these are our highs, pay attention to this long rally that we're having right here. We are already massively overbought at 90. So as we approach this area, particularly at the wicks and the 7200, and we've run out of steam, we could see a reversal, maybe down to this level just here, maybe fib based targets. We'll have to wait and see what price does. Let's go and take a look at the 60. There's not a great deal here now, but keep an eye out for a double top or a head and shoulders on that one. Okay, the Kiwis, the New Zealand yen first of all. Okay, we have two lovely looking head and shoulders setting up. I'm going to be all over these if we get the retracements. So we are in the wicks and structure level on. Okay, structure level on where price came to yesterday, where we opened, was up here, and we have had a big lower low, lower close now, and this pair I am expecting price to come for a retest down to this level. I'm going to explain why in just a moment. Let's go and take a look then at the 240. Okay, we have this channel right here, and these channels, when we come up to around the middle of them, are areas where we can look for shorting opportunities. In fact, we've already had one here. I did actually catch that trade. However, what we've done now is we've seen a rally, a pullback, a rally. We have come into the wicks, which is where we see head and shoulders. We've seen a pullback, and I'm going to be looking for one of two things. Let's go and look at this on the 60. Yeah, I like it on the 60. You can see on the 60, still valid. We've still held that structure area. I'm going to be looking for a violation first of all, or if we don't get it, I'm going to be looking for, within the wicks just up here, something like another head and shoulders or a double top that will allow me to have tight stops, and I'm going to be looking for either an AB equals CD pattern for target ones just here, and then looking at holding it for target twos for a retest of the lows. So probably two targets I'm going to be playing. New Zealand dollar, pretty much the same setup on the New Zealand dollar. So structure level on at our highs. It did come into this major level of resistance. We have had yesterday a lower low, lower close. Let's go down to the 240, and we have similar setup just here. So we have a very directional move, a pullback. We did make a new high. On this one, we've already had the violation. I'm going to be looking for a pullback. Anywhere in the outside return, I'm going to be looking for the second chance entry, which is a lower low, lower close. Looking for maybe target ones for an AB equals CD pattern, target twos for a complete retest of the lows. And if we just go ahead here and move this up, so that's from the candle closes to the wicks, which is just there. Let's look right, and we have held structure, so another valid top. Okay guys, quite a few things on the radar there, quite a few nice opportunities I'm looking for. I'm really looking forward to potentially getting involved in a couple of those big head and shoulders as well.